So what's the truth about driving for Walmart? Well, you're going to do some stuff you don't want to do. And, or some stuff that could be dangerous, may not pay as well as you would hoped it would, and just overall a hassle. So here I'll show you on my some of my dash cam footage. I've been getting dash cam footage lately here. I don't know if you saw my video on the unboxing of the new dash cam. So here's some footage of it. And so the truth is, you're going to drive through snow and you're going to put chains on. Both these things are going to happen. If you live out here on the West Coast and you end up driving, maybe out of Red Bluff, Hermiston, Oregon, pretty much any of these California locations. Now, if you're down south, down Apple Valley or whatever, Fontana and those kind of things, maybe you won't see this as much, but you're definitely going to see it up here where I work at. So this last week, I didn't have to put chains on, but I definitely went through some snow and quite a bit of it. Considering that we just now hitting one of our first storms, it's a reminder that, it could be a long, hard winter. So they ended up sending me up to Woodburn, Oregon. I don't have any footage of that. But, and here's me going through the Columbia River Gorge on my way up to Hermiston, Oregon. No snow yet. Well, there was a little bit, nothing to speak of really. And then first thing out the gate, they're going to have me do the Chehalis store and the Yelm, Washington store. Now, the thing about this is that Walmart built their grocery DCs, at least the two up here on the eastern side of the Cascades and the Sierra Nevadas. What that means is every time you pull a grocery load, you're most likely going to be going over a mountain range. So that's why I say, the truth of it is, and nobody wants to talk about it, if you work out here, you're going to be driving in the snow and you're going to be putting chains on. Donner Summit's where you'll go over and hit a lot of that when you go out of our McCarran yard, which is over there east of Sparks, Nevada. And all those groceries are going to come over to the Central Valley, Sacramento area, Southern Oregon, things like that. So you're going to drive over it. And then the other grocery DC is the Grandview, Washington grocery DC, which is out by Yakima. And again, you're going to be going over a mountain range. You're going to go over the Cascades because a lot of those groceries go to anywhere from Seattle all the way down into some of the Northern Oregon stores. And so it's just part of the job. This is the truth of it. It sounds worse than it is. I know when I was driving out cross country back in the day, I never had to put chains on in any other state except for Oregon and California, Oregon, and a little bit of Washington. I don't ever recall putting chains on in any other state. Everybody just drives. But, when you're getting on these grades, from the mountains and someone's going to slide into you or you're going to slide into them or slide off the mountain. And you don't have a choice. They have chain checks. You will put them on or you will not go. And you could stay at the side of the road and hope for it to clear up, but you may land up, not going anywhere for days, and you don't want that. So I went to the Chehalis store, not a bad store, pretty good weather. And then I ended up going to the Yelm, Washington store. I thought I'd went to every Walmart here in the West Coast, but apparently I missed one. And when I saw this sign here, it kind of alarmed me a little bit. I'm like, uh-oh, well, that's lower than my truck. So I ended up having to make some phone calls, and I was informed that, no, you're not going to go through that. It's fine. But the sign sure made it seem like it was, and I didn't get to read it more thoroughly to see from what town to what town this low clearance was at. I'd never been that way before, so I didn't know. It's always good just to double check. So, Washington store, not hard, pretty easy. Did that, and then it was time to go back over the pass again, which, I didn't show you the footage of when I went over in the morning. Pretty thick. I didn't have to put chains on. Luckily, I was nice and heavy. And I'm not a fast driver in the snow. I'm just, why risk it? So this was all just fine. But then when I go over in the evening, I'm empty. Luckily, it didn't snow as much and I didn't have to put chains on, but pretty slick. Pretty slick. Spun the tires a couple of times there, trying not to be in a hurry, but it reminds you pretty quick when you start spinning tires. So I got a little bit of a reprieve there on the snow driving. They sent me out to Moses Lake, which Moses Lake is it's pretty much out on flat ground. You're not going to be putting chains on. So this is like your break when you're constantly having to go over the hill. They'll give you one of these so that you can kind of get a little breather in there. So end of the week, they land up sending me to, I'm heading home at this point. I land up going to the Wood Village. Yeah, that's what it is. Wood Village, Oregon store. Don't have any footage of that. And then the Sherwood, Oregon store, which there's a little bit of footage of that. Just rained a lot. No big deal. But then after that, on my way home, landed up hitting quite a bit of snow. Nothing that sticks, but between there and the travel center down there at Rice Hill, exit 148. Headed home the next morning, landed up going over Siskiyou Summit, which is closer to where I live. No big deal. You could tell it had been snowing. And so I figured this was all done and I don't have to worry about it. This week's done. Put it behind me. Well, on my way home, apparently a lot of snow came through, enough to close the highway or close the interstate. So I ended up having to go around, and you can see this is, it's quite a bit of snow and a long ways around. And so went over a couple of different summits, went through Burning, California, went through McLeod, finally get back on the freeway. By the time I pull up in the yard at the house, they open the road. Too late then. I'd already went all the way around. So, there's just a quick little recap of some of the stuff I did this last week. And, just a little reminder that you're going to have to do the thing you don't want to do, which is go slower, probably put chains on and work harder. And have to worry about who's going to crash into you or what's up ahead, what you need to avoid or be super cautious about. So there you go. All right. So that's all I got for this week. We'll catch you guys later. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.